Hey guys, it's Allison from AllisonReeves.co, and today I'm going to be answering a question. The question is, how do you get coaching clients with a blog? As some of you guys already know, I work with a lot of content creators, and they all have different things that they're selling. Some people are selling physical products, some people are selling courses, which is really common, or other digital products, and some people are selling consulting or higher ticket services or coaching. So how do you get coaching clients with a blog? If you're wondering how you get coaching clients with a blog, you can keep watching this video. So if you guys are here watching live, make sure to comment so I know that you can hear me pretty well. I'm guessing you can, so I'm going to keep rolling. But I do see a few people hopping on, so just let me know that you're here. So this is obviously a question that's pretty near and dear to my heart because I obviously make money with blogs, and I also make money with coaching by coaching other content creators and creative experts to monetize their blogs or just simply to increase their income using the internet and social media in general. So I first want to talk about kind of just like the basics of getting traffic to your blog. So the three main ways that I get traffic to a blog when I'm working with coaching clients are going to be Pinterest, search engine optimization, which is SEO, using your email newsletter, and then of course also possibly Facebook ads, depending on where you're at in your business. Now, if you don't have a proven offer, meaning that you haven't sold your high ticket services very often, then I wouldn't recommend Facebook ads until you really honed in on your messaging, because if you try to run ads before you really dial in on your messaging, you're going to waste a lot of money on Facebook ads. Facebook ads are another really great way to get traffic to a blog and to your services. So that's kind of the first step of like blogging for any business, is really refining your messaging, making sure you have a great lead magnet in place. A lead magnet is a free thing that you're offering people in exchange for their email address. We talked about lead magnets earlier this week. And if you guys want me to link that video in the comments, just let me know. Messaging, lead magnet, then traffic. And usually for many niches, Pinterest is going to be the quickest win for traffic. You always need to make sure that your blog and your website is optimized for search engine optimization, or SEO. I'll say SEO from now on. But usually your quicker win is going to come from Pinterest search engine optimization. So keep that in mind. And if you need any more information about Pinterest in general, again, you can comment down below. We've got lots of training and topics on Pinterest as well. Okay, so the next step to getting clients with your blog, to getting coaching clients with your blog, is utilizing what I like to call social sales. Now, social sales is pretty much what it sounds like. It's using social media to get more sales. This is not spamming your friends. This is not like inviting people who are not your avatar to like come to your free trainings, your Facebook group. But social sales is using storytelling on social media through your personal profile and your business page to drive trust and ultimately to get inbound sales. Now, I'm prioritizing social sales above other things, other sales tools here in this instance, because usually social sales is going to be the quickest win for high ticket offers. Now, if you're doing a low cost offer, then using your personal profile and using your business page is going to be a longer win. It's going to take a bigger buildup, and that's okay too. But for high ticket sales, the trust factor is the most important thing you need for actually selling, and I'm going to get into that in a second as well. So social sales, the great thing about using a blog when you're also using social sales is it kind of becomes the foundation of all of your content. So when I'm working with coaching clients who are coaches and high ticket providers, service providers, and I'm using social sales, they usually need like a structure. Like, what am I going to post? I tell them I want you to post on social media 5 times a week, these kind of storytelling based posts to try to get inbound sales. So what do you post? Well, if you're utilizing a blog as a part of your social selling process, the blog becomes the foundation of everything you talk about during the week. So that every single week you can have topics related to this. Hey, Dave, you can have topics related to the blog post, like one-line quotes, biggest mistakes people make, client results, and things like that. Dave says staying active in Facebook groups has helped me with social sales as well as traffic signups to my mailing list. Yeah, Dave, you've done a great job using social sales to get clients for your services. without knowing a lot too. So you kind of like, you already knew enough to be dangerous there, and it's working really well for you. But yeah, positioning yourself as an authority by providing value. That's what you do through social sales, and that's what you do through blogging. That's really what you do through any business if you want to be successful, is using that, like what people call inbound marketing, or inbound, what is it called? HubSpot kind of coined the term, I guess it's inbound marketing, is really like providing value on the front end so people ask about your services rather than just basically having commercials everywhere like billboards and radio ads. So your social, your blog can like super easily drive the content for your social sales on the internet. It can also drive the topics of your videos, which are really, really powerful tools for building trust, which is kind of the next thing we'll talk about. Well, let me talk about email really quickly. So the other way to utilize your blog to get coaching clients is by strongly leveraging email. The thing with coaching is that at a higher ticket offer, people are, less ready to buy. Like if you have a big email list and you're selling a $10 product, you're going to get a ton of sales. If you have a big email list and you're selling a $3,000 product, you're not going to get that many sales. You have to do lots of trust building before somebody will spend a higher dollar amount with you. And that's why email is absolutely critical. It's critical for anyone because it's an asset that you own, but it's really critical for high ticket service providers and coaches, because you're going to have to nurture people and build trust over time. So getting their email address is really helpful. And okay, so now let's get into, so if you're not automating your email, then you're really, really missing out. And you need to focus on long-term campaigns or a long-term strategy to nurture. So what I mean by that is, I could, for my coaching business, have and actually do now have an email campaign that spans over several months. That's automated. Alternatively, what I've also done and still do is I have a long-term strategy, not just a long-term campaign, but a long-term strategy. So my strategy involves doing a certain number of things every single month that have been repeatable processes for me to get sales. So make sure if you're doing high ticket, you're in it for the long term. So the last thing I want to talk about is trust building. So, and this relates to everything I've already been saying, but when you're doing high ticket, it's even more critical that you build trust with your audience. When you're selling a $10 product, you don't have to build quite as much trust for somebody to lay down $10 for the thing that you're selling. But the more, the higher ticket you get, the more trust building you need to do. And a blog is a really powerful tool to build trust. If you provide valuable information on the front end, then people know that you know what you're talking about. I just got on a sales call this week with someone, and she said, I've been following you for a while. I know you know what you're doing. You show up for your people, and that's really important. I remember one of the first high ticket things I purchased, which it wasn't my favorite decision I've ever made. It also wasn't the biggest mistake I've ever made, which I felt like it was at the time, but it ended up paying off eventually. But when I went to buy that offer, I specifically remember like really Googling the influencer, the bro marketer that was selling this program. And the only thing I could find for reviews were pages that he and his team had set up. In hindsight, that could have been a little bit of a red flag for me, because when I'm spending a lot of money with someone, I want to have a connection with that person. I want to know that they're going to show up and be present for me. So if you want people to pay you a lot of money for things, then you need to show up and be present for them and provide that information on the front end, and a blog is a great way to do that. You need to nurture your community as directly as possible. So whether you're using a blog or whatever to sell a higher ticket offer, you need to nurture the heck out of your community. Some really great ways to nurture the heck out of your community are email, social selling, social media, video. So video is a really great way to nurture for high ticket, because people often kind of want to get a taste on like what your vibe is like. Like if somebody is really irritating to you, like it's going to be a challenge to buy from them because you have to hear them all the time. There's one program that I purchased that I was very, very happy with. It was a $9,800 program, almost $10,000. And a huge criticism of some people that were less happy with it once they got into it is that like his style was very casual. He kind of feels like a bully. He's definitely not a bully, but he has kind of like a man up attitude. That's also not a very inclusive term. But he means that when you get into the training videos, you can see like where his heart is coming from. So then the kind of bro-ish attitude on the front end didn't bother me as much because I could tell he really, really cared about his people. But some people get really turned off by that. So it's really important. Like video can help build trust because people know that whether or not they're going to vibe with you. And I've already said this 10,000 times in this training, but coaching more than any other offer requires a massive amount of trust building. And that was kind of like the number one thing I said in this description. I forget what I said for this description, but the most important thing for sales is that massive, massive trust building. And one recommendation I'm going to make to end this video is if you're a coach or you're doing any kind of high ticket, I highly recommend that for a very, very long time, you do sales calls instead of pushing people into a funnel. Taking a sales call instead of pushing people into an automated funnel is going to give you a ton of information about your avatar. It's going to give you a ton of information about what makes people hesitate to buy. Once you've mastered that, then you can push people into a more evergreen funnel. But honestly, most of my biggest month still to date, every month I expect it to get bigger because I have big goals and I'm always growing. But my biggest month so far was a $38,000 month. I only ran $300 of ads to get to that $38,000 month. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people, like, they want to start with the funnel. This is what I did in 2017. I paid a lot of money to have somebody build a really complex funnel to try to push people in and get sales. But because I was pushing people to the funnel and it was a brand new offer, I didn't know what objections people had, like what message was resonating with people, what made them hesitate, what price points were they like, $3,000 maybe feels energetically pretty easy for them. $5,000 maybe feels like too much. So in hindsight, I wish that I had really started out my coaching business by just taking sales calls, because as soon as I did that, I learned and grew really fast and I got better at understanding what my offer and what my person needed. So that's my last tip. If you're going to use a blog to get coaching clients, is that you push to a strategy session, a sales call, have a really good questionnaire on the back end of that so people know what they're getting into. And then you can really learn your avatar. I know sales calls are uncomfortable, but they'll help you a lot if you want to make most of your money with high ticket offers. So hopefully this training was helpful for you guys. Thank you all who showed up and are still watching. If you guys have questions after I'm done chatting, of course, you can post it in the comments down below, and I will talk to you all again soon. If you need more information about getting high ticket clients either through a blog or through social sales, you can comment down below, or you can go to AllisonRiggs.co/schedule and book a chat, and maybe we'll talk soon. All right, have a great weekend.